Welcome back to another installment of Batman. Now today we're checking out the conclusion to Ghost Stories, this storyline that we've been covering on the channel, and so far what we've been having is Batman versus Ghostmaker. Ghostmaker does not believe in Batman's ideology, and Batman doesn't believe in Ghostmakers as well. So they have this whole rivalry that's been brewed since they were actually like teenagers, but for now, last issue ended with Batman, Harley Quinn, and Clown Hunter being in captivity in Arkham Asylum. Now, Batman and Harley are pretty much tied up, but Clown Hunter was not tied up, and he was actually left a sword. So, Clown Hunter took this sword, and he's about to kill Harley Quinn. The reason that Ghostmaker did not tie Clown Hunter up was he's trying to prove to Batman that Clown Hunter cannot be redeemed. Now, will Harley Quinn die? Maybe. Will Clown Hunter succeed? Maybe. Will Batman and Ghostmaker become friends or keep being enemies? We'll find out as we dive into Batman number 105. We begin in Argentina, years ago. Now we see Bruce. He's getting on this plane to go to Gotham City. Now Ghostmaker shows up. He says, "You're giving up then?" And Bruce says, "What?" Ghostmaker responds, "You're done with your training. You're going back to Gotham City." And Bruce says, "It's time." Now Ghostmaker says, "You're not ready." Bruce again says, "What?" And Ghostmaker says, "You still don't understand, Bruce, what we're doing. What we built ourselves into these past years." Now, Bruce says, "I'm not interested in hearing this again from you." Now, Ghostmaker states, "We're both crazy." And Bruce says, "No, I'm not the psychopath." And Ghostmaker says, "And that's why you're going to die. Probably in the first 6 months of your war on crime." Bruce says, "Why is that your problem?" Now they talk in the rain, and Ghostmaker says, "The world is broken, Bruce. I thought you understood that. We used to stay up late at night and talk about just how broken it was and come up with idea after idea for how to make it better. Not for the glory or personal gain, but for the sake of the task itself. For the sheer art of it, damn it. Making the world better because we were the only ones smart enough to gather the skills to do so. To take each new challenge eagerly and learn what was necessary to overcome it." Bruce says, "Why don't you think I can do that?" And Ghostmaker says, "Because you're trying to fulfill the promise of an 8-year-old boy. You're trying to stop a crime that's already been committed. You can't save yourself as a boy, no matter how much you train, no matter how many skills you've learned." Bruce says, "I'm sick of you telling me what I can't do." Ghostmaker grabs him by the shoulder and pulls him back. "No, listen. You can't save everyone. You can't even save most people. If every loss cuts against your soul, it'll riddle you down to nothing. Treat crime fighting like the art it can be. Let go of your parents and your guilt. Let go of Gotham. Let go of the idea of Bruce Wayne." Now, Bruce looks at him, and Ghostmaker continues, "We'll start in a small city in Southeast Asia and systematically dismantle its criminal underworld out of all the corrupt politicians, and then we'll go to the next and the next. We'll build a high-tech base of operations that'll move with us. We'll live well off the coffers of the gains we dismantle. We'll expand from there. In time, maybe we can even tackle a city like Gotham. Not like boys, but like men at the peak of our skills." Bruce says, "No." And Ghostmaker shouts, "You're a coward. You're too afraid of becoming what you know you can become." And Bruce says, "I have no interest in not caring about people. I have no interest in giving up the mission I started when I was 8 years old. You're sick. There's a part of you that's broken. And you're angry that's not broken in me." Now Ghostmaker punches Bruce in the face and says, "Take that back." And Bruce says, "Just leave." And he starts to say Ghostmaker's name, but Ghostmaker cuts him off and says, "No, you don't get to say my name again. You don't get to see my face." Bruce says, "Fine, Ghostmaker. If you set foot in Gotham City, I'll treat you like any other lawbreaker. I'll find in my way." Ghostmaker points at him and says, "I have no interest in that sewer you call home, but fine. That's our deal. I won't set foot in your city, and you won't set foot in any that I've set up camp in." Now Bruce walks away. "Good. Now get out of my way. I never want to see you again." Now we go to Arkham Asylum now. Clown Hunter has a sword above Harley's neck, and we see Batman. He says, "Belle, drop the sword. Talk to me." Clown Hunter smiles and says, "There's been too much talking already." Batman says, You're being played here. You're just applying Ghostmaker's plans. If you kill her, he's going to come in here and kill you. All to teach me a lesson not to care about people. Clown Hunter says, you don't care about me. Batman says, yes I do. I know your pain. I know how much you want to make things right. But this is the wrong way to do it. Now, Clown Hunter gets up the sword and says, maybe I don't care. He goes to swing, but Batman snaps out of his tied up binds, right? You got snap. He throws a batarang. He says, Harley. Now, Harley catches the batarang. She cuts herself out. She says, thanks for the save, Bats. Now, that's when Batman shows up and dismantles Clown Hunter and says, get out of here. I'll end this. Harley says, no, I'm not going anywhere. Clown Hunter says, why not? Are you stupid? And Harley goes up to him and says, people think so sometimes, but I'm not. My brain works a little sideways, but it's a good brain. I know how you feel. Now, Clown Hunter says, no you don't. And Harley says, it used to be my job to know how people feel. I was a psychiatrist. Now, Clown Hunter says, yeah, clearly you are really good at that. Now, Harley says, something you're gonna learn is there are lots of different ways of growing up, and most of them mess you up. But I need you to hear something, and then you can try to kill me, okay? And Val says, if you're gonna talk, then talk. Harley says, I don't remember that night. I don't remember your parents, but that doesn't matter. I've done so many bad things. Look, if Batman's telling me I was there, then I was there. I'm sorry your parents died. I'm sorry I had any kind of hand in it. I'm sorry that got so deep in your head it messed you up. And now you're out there, ruining your life, just to try and make things make sense. But you got a whole life ahead of you. What's his name? Bo? Batman responds, Bow. And Harley says, okay, Bow. Now, Bow says, Clown Hunter. I'm Clown Hunter. And Harley says, Bow. There are consequences to doing the things that just make you feel strong. I got really messed up for a while there. Nothing in my life felt like it made any sense. And there was this guy telling me everything I wanted to hear. He made me think he was just a broken person the exact same way that I thought I was a broken person. That he had built this shell to protect him. That he had painted on this grin and made everyone afraid. And that it was all their fault for making us feel that way. It didn't feel like anybody could hear me. But the Joker heard me. He saw me. And I love that. And that's when Bow says, look, lady, if you think you're going to make me fall in love with the Joker, Harley says as she cries, no, that's not it. I want to be strong. He was able to manipulate me and control me and make me feel loved. Enough that I was willing to help him do really terrible things. Because I wanted to feel strong too. I wanted to be the one with all the power. I wanted to be the one people were afraid of. And now I'm gonna be dealing with the consequences of that for my entire life. I'm always gonna be Harley Quinn. And I'm trying my damn best to make the most of it. I'm gonna try to save as many people as I tried to hurt back in the day. I wanna be a better version of myself. But if you want to kill me, you can. I deserve it. Bow puts the knife up to her neck. Batman says, Harley. Harley says, stand back, Bats. It's the kid's choice. Now, Bow puts up the knife. He shouts. But he swings at the table and doesn't kill Harley Quinn. Harley says, oh, phew. And Batman says, Bow. And Bow says as he walks away, just leave me alone, okay? Leave me alone. Now he walks away. Batman says to Harley, thank you, Harley. Harley says, you know, I meant it. Batman says, I do know. Harley says, are you going to make sure that kid ends up okay? Batman says, I'm going to do everything in my power. Harley says, good. Now, Batman walks with a sword, and he says, you should get out of here too. I need to have a few words with an old friend. Now, Ghostmaker walks down and says, I can catch the boy. You really think I can't? Batman says. And he's actually in his costume, right? His bat costume, but he's shirtless. Now he says, of course you can. He's a teenager with a baseball bat and almost no combat experience. He's not much of a target. Now they clash swords, and Ghostmaker says, what was that supposed to prove? Batman says it wasn't about proving anything. I generally care about that boy, and I want him to destroy his life. Do you know how many times I could have killed Harley over the years? How easy it would have been to just eliminate Joker's closest associates. But then nobody learns. Nobody changes. Nothing is better in that way. Ghostmaker stabs him in the stomach and says, not everyone can be saved. Batman says, but most people can. You usually can't tell when you're face to face with them on the worst day in their life. He spits out blood. Now they clash swords again. Ghostmaker says, "You're protective of him because he lost his parents like you did. You understand his mission. You empathize with that childish dream." Now Batman responds, "I also recognize it as a man who has helped a lot of wayward young people on better paths. I'm not a teenager anymore, and neither are you. We're getting older. I'm not done trying to save the city. I don't think I ever will be." Now, that's when he elbows Ghostmaker in the chin and says, "Caring about people hasn't killed me yet." Now, Ghostmaker says, "You come closer than most." Now, Batman smiles and says, "Like you haven't." Now, Ghostmaker says, "Huh." Now, they're about to fight, but that's when Batman throws the sword down and says, "I don't want to fight you. We've been fighting too long." Ghostmaker puts his sword away and says, "Fine, we don't have to fight." And he says, "I'll leave Gotham in the morning. We'll stick to the old arrangements. You know, it's too bad. I was hoping you were going to come at me with one of your cars. I've always been jealous of your cars." Now, Batman smiles. Build you a new one." Ghostmaker says, "Flying?" And Batman says, "No, all wheels on the ground, built for speed and maneuvering in the streets." Ghostmaker says, "Not a tank then." Batman says, "Not a tank." Now, Ghostmaker continues to say, "I'll be watching on the ghost nets." Batman says, "You don't have to." Ghostmaker says, "What do you mean?" Now, Batman starts to put his shirt back on. He says, "Don't leave Gotham. Stay. Help me make it better." And Ghostmaker looks at him, confused. "Why?" And Batman says, "Because I'm getting older, and the city is getting younger. I don't have the resources I used to have, or the allies within law enforcement and city governments. I could use the help." Ghostmaker responds to that, "I'm not gonna stop telling you what you're doing wrong." And Batman says, "Good. Since Alfred passed, I don't have enough of that in my life." Now, Ghostmaker says, "And I'm not going to wear a bat on my chest." Batman says, "I wouldn't ask you to. My only rule is you don't kill my city." Ghostmaker says, "You're so limited." And Batman says, "It makes the job much harder, but I guess I understand if you're not willing to risk failing." Now, Ghostmaker says, so that's how it is." Batman says, "Can you stand the challenge?" And Ghostmaker responds, "I guess I can." Now, we see the Bat family with, spoiler, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, and Nightwing. They're outside. They're ready to attack, right? But Batman has called them off, and he tells Ghostmaker, "Well, come say hello." And Ghostmaker says, "Actually, Batman, I just got an alert from your friend Oracle. Just as I lowered my GhostNet blocks on her computer system, the Circus of the Strange has hijacked the Gotham Orchestra." Now, Batman smiles. Now, with this costume on, this new dynamic duo, they rush to this whole case. Ghostmaker says, "I bet I could get to this orchestra faster than you." Batman says, "I'll take that bet." And Ghostmaker says, as they run through this alleyway, "You know, I'm richer than you are now." And Batman says, "Good. That means you're buying dinner after. I don't have a butler anymore." Now, that's how we end this storyline. So, next we have Future States, which will span January and February, but when we come back to the main Batman title in March, we'll see this new dynamic duo, Batman and Ghostmaker, try to save Gotham City. So guys, that was Batman in 105, and I have a mixed reaction to this issue. First off, the artwork is done by Carlo Pagulayan, Danny McKee, Alvaro Martinez, and Christian Deuce. That's 4 artists once again, and you guys know me, I don't like an interchange of artists, but at least the art throughout this issue is way better than the last issue. The last issue artwork was terrible. This issue's artwork is not the best, and I expect better from a Batman book, but it's still, I can still read it, right? It doesn't throw me off. There's no like jarring shifts, but at the same time, I do not like an interchange of artists, and the artwork itself is not amazing. But yeah, there's my thoughts on the artwork for the issue, but the writing itself by James Tynion. The opening of the issue is standard. We get the same thing that Batman, Ghostmaker, they stop being friends, they split up, and they have this whole rule that they can't go to the same place that each of them are. Like, Ghostmaker can't go to Gotham City, Batman can't show up in any, like, city in Southeast Asia, right, where Ghostmaker is. So that was a pretty standard opening that wasn't really interesting. It was just a lot of dialogue and kind of a slog to read. Now, we get to that cliffhanger from last issue. Does Harley die? Nope, she doesn't. And how Batman prevents this is the dumbest thing ever, right? Because the scene starts out okay, Batman's like, hey, stop this clown hunter. But then But then Bao, aka Clown Hunter, is like, nope, I don't care. Makes sense. That goes with his character. But through this time, Clown Hunter only has to swing down and kill Harley, which takes probably 2 seconds. Now, what we see is Batman, he gets out of his restraints, throws a batarang at Harley Quinn. She catches the batarang, gets out of her restraints, and she doesn't even stop Clown Hunter. Actually, Batman gets up entirely and dismantles him. So, in this full time of all this different stuff going on, Clown Hunter didn't take the time to just swing down. That's it. I do not believe that. That does not make sense at all. You're telling me all this action happened in a couple seconds or so, or Clown Hunter is just so slow that he gives Batman and Harley enough time to do this. And what's even worse is, come on, Batman throws the batarang to Harley Quinn to get out of the restraints, right? Why not just throw the batarang to dismantle Clown Hunter? Because what if, we'll just call him Bao, but what if Bao just swung down fast, right? In real life. He swung down. It'd probably be better and more like not risky for Batman to throw the batarang and dismantle him there right off the bat, right? Dismantle him and then save Harley. Instead of throwing the batarang to Harley, expecting her to get out of those restraints fast enough before she gets killed. I just find this whole scene stupid. It don't make sense, and you guys tell me your thoughts about it down below, but it was not executed well. Now, from there, we see Harley, she just is like, hey, give me a chance to talk. And Bao is like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I was about to kill you, but I'll give you a chance to talk. Which I'm like, why would he do that? Like, he doesn't care. At the beginning of the issue, he said he doesn't care. So why is he giving her a chance to talk? And I do like how James Tynion writes Harley here, like she wants redemption. That was actually a good part in the issue. It was actually really well done, but still, how it's set up, the execution of it is just not that good. And then Bao just leaves. He's out. That's it. He doesn't kill Harley. As expected, we knew Harley wasn't gonna die. She gets out. Harley's done for the issue, and then Batman goes to fight out Ghostmaker. So far, this issue's not that great. Now, from there, we have this whole fight sequence with Ghostmaker that actually is pretty dope. I do like it. The artwork really shines here with, like, Christian Deuce doing the artwork. Now, something I find kind of funny, though, Batman's, like, shirtless. Like, why? Why did he not just put on his costume? Like, really? That just don't make that much sense. I feel like it's just because James Tynion finds it cool. Which, it could be cool for some people who like those comics back then, where Batman is shirtless, and it's nostalgia, but for me, I'm not feeling it, right? Now, the whole action sequence is actually getting cool. There's a lot of cool, like, elbows, stabs, and I like it, but then all of a sudden, the fight stops, and Batman's like, hey, let's talk, and Ghostmaker's like, sure. I'm like, but what? Why'd you stop fighting? Like, really? And then all of a sudden, Batman's like, hey, I can need your help in Gotham. What about you throw away your ideology and stop killing and join my Bat family in a way? And we become like a dynamic duo. And my expectation was that Ghostmaker was going to say, no, my whole point is I'm going to kill and stop all this, like, chaos. But actually what happened was Ghostmaker's like, sure, alright, I could do that. I'm not gonna kill people. I'll actually go your ideology. I know I came to Gotham and was trying to kill you and Clown Hunter because I didn't like your ideology. I had to try to kill you back then because I hate your ideology. But you know what? Just because I'm gonna throw all that, like, you know, bad blood behind us and just, you know, throw it away and go with your ideology. Just flip a switch like that. And I thought that was dumb, alright? That was dumb. Like, that did not make no sense with this character. Like, he flipped the switch so fast that it was like, he was like, I don't like you at all. I don't like your ideology. We cannot do this to, yeah, I'm all cool. You know what? There's a robbery down the street or some kind of thing like an orchestra. And let's go fight here, right? And the new dynamic duo go off. Now, it is an unexpected ending. I'll give credit where it's due. James Tynion, I didn't expect this ending. And that is good, right? It surprised me. Now, did it surprise me a good way? No, it doesn't make sense. Now, a dynamic duo of Ghostmaker and Batman, though it sounds cool, and I think it could work, it's not executed well in this issue. So yeah, guys, overall this issue is the weakest in this storyline. Well, I don't know. Yeah, actually probably the weakest issue in the storyline, and by far the weakest issue in James Tynion's run. James Tynion really needs to up his game for this Batman run. Because after Future State, I hope this new dynamic duo makes more sense and gets better. But for now, I'm giving this issue 6 out of 10, guys. It wasn't a terrible issue, the artwork was better, and there was some cool action and good Harley moments. But aside from that, like, dang, like, there was so many inconsistencies that I was surprised. I was like, come on, James Tynion, you can do better writing than this. Now, guys, you tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. And guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out my next Batman comic review. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.